Here again with another Shameless Season 8 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important. If you aren't caught up to the point where I am and watching Shameless, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description if that happens to be the case. And you find out that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And for all of you out there that are wondering, I have indeed seen Shameless all the way through at least one time. Some episodes I've seen more than once. And for the most part, I really enjoy this show. I know the show does have some dips in quality. I'm starting to notice a slight dip right now. My opinion, I know towards the end, the final two seasons specifically, I don't like them. But hey, maybe my opinion will change on this rewatch. So join me on the journey. And with all that said, this will be Shameless Season 8, Episode 4. The title of this episode is called Fuck, Paying It Forward. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watch the episode. So apparently, the Gallagher house has turned into a strip club. Lots of titties everywhere. Wait, it's just Lip dreaming, and Liam has action figures. And Lip has a stiffy, as he got woken up by Liam playing with action figures down by his bed. Go get ready for school. Lulu from the Neighborhood Watch program lets Carl and Ian know about burglaries around the neighborhood. Debbie tells Fiona she's moved back in. Like, she tells her a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pay my share. And Fiona's like, I was just going to say hi or good morning. And then, what the fuck? Sean shows up at the Gallagher house standing next to Liam as Liam had let him in. Debbie and Fiona looked stunned. He was hoping he could catch Fiona for a second. Debbie tells Liam right in front of Sean, I thought I told you not to answer the door for douchebags. Sean says, Liam, that didn't go so well, did it? As Debbie and Fiona had left. Kev, V, and the girls are on the way to meet Kev's real family in Kentucky. Little Barty, is that you? That's me, Kev says. Kev gets a hug from a woman that he's never met. I think it's played by the woman that's in the Breaking Bad episode Peekaboo, and I did check, and it was her. She mentions he's just like his brother, likes the dark ones. Aunt Ronnie hugs V. Liam tells his brothers Fiona's going to be pissy. I let Sean in. Lip talks about Lip talks about whacking off every morning. Frank tells his kids that he's going to continue to be St. Francis. So going forward in this episode, I will refer to him as Francis. Bastard just shows up out of nowhere. Fiona tells Debbie, maybe he got clean. Who cares what he wants, Fiona? He's just another Frank or Francis. Fiona's drug addict tenant got his head stuck between in the fence between the bars, and welder Debbie to the rescue. Francis asks Liam what can he do to be a better father since he's fucked up his whole life. Francis tells Cynthia, or I should say Francis helps Cynthia with her heel, and Francis tells her Liam is the last good chip he has, trying not to crap out. She tells Francis they could use more dads like him at the school. Brad and Lip have food again at Patsy's. That's like their meeting place. Carl goes to see Mr. Wilson, tells him he's going to get his medals back as no one fucks with Yvette on my watch. Nessa calls Fiona. Vahir's here. He's here to meet you before the keys. He's a little early. Sean really wants to talk to Fiona, so he actually met her outside of Patsy's. And Francis is seeking more involvement. So Francis tells the principal, that's what he tells the principal, and Francis is going to join the PTA. Kev used to sleep with Binky in the fireplace. So Kev used to crawl into the fireplace and sleep with his Binky. DeAndre is a new student at the school, and it's another African-American kid to join Liam. So Liam's not the only one now. Lip asks his, and I guess I should say they were picking players for basketball. Liam went number 2, or number 3 technically. You have the two captains, and he was the first pick out of those. And then DeAndre came in, and they're like, oh, I want him. So he's like the new hot toy or whatever. But anyway, Lip asks his female coworker about hanging out later. This is a female coworker at Patsy's. I can't remember her name. Like, hook up, she asks. And Lip says, yeah. She won't because Sierra is her friend. Fiona gives Vahir the keys, and Fiona has a midday wine cooler with Nessa. She talks about Sean showing up. Nessa says, fuck Sean, and Fiona says, yeah, fuck Sean. Aunt Ronnie shows Kev and V a photo album. Aunt Ronnie tells Kev that his mom ran off. While Kev was little, he was left at a gas station by accident, Aunt Ronnie says. Geneva asks Ian to help clean her up. So she's one of the kids that are associated with Trevor. And she asks if it's still cool if she comes to him when she needs help. And Ian says, yeah, that's cool. Lip tells his coworker about his dreams, also how much he's jerking, or about how he's jerking off too much. Eddie yells at Lip to fix the bike. Francis gives a good speech at the PTA meeting. Debbie tells Franny she's sorry she missed her first step. Vahir needs Fiona to replace the amps at the apartment. He's like a tech guy, has a bunch of computers, and she keeps, during this conversation, Fiona keeps looking at her phone. And then Fiona goes to see Sean at the dinner. She tells Sean she wasn't going to come. Sean says he wasn't going to blame her if she didn't. He says he feels like shit for what he put her through. And Sean tells Fiona that he's been sober for 1 year. A year's already gone by since that. And then, well, I guess the age of Franny. Sean gives Fiona money to pay those previous wedding expenses. And she says he's glad he's clean and got his shit together. I loved you, asshole. I probably still do. And he says he wasn't suggesting they get together. He already got married. And then Fiona's like, am I a fucking step in your rehab? Sean says he didn't know that she still had feelings for him. Fiona throws the money at Sean and leaves. Ian tucks Geneva in on the Gallagher couch, so she's going to spend the night. Kev thanks V for helping him meet his family. Lip goes to a bar to meet somebody from Tinder. This girl kisses Lip, and he says she tastes like rum. She orders a double shot of tequila, and Lip leaves. He doesn't want anything to do with that. Ian wakes up the next morning, and he's next to Geneva. She got in bed with him because it was creepy downstairs. Geneva leaves. Lip sees her, and then says to Ian, it's a chick. You switching teams? He tells Lip she had a rough night and needed a place to crash. Fiona tells Lip, Ian, and that Sean got married. Fiona's making a list of all the promises he made when they were together. Lip says he's paying it forward, and Fiona says, fuck paying it forward, the episode title. Carl finds out it's a junkie who's robbing or burglarizing these houses. V wakes up and Kev's not in bed. V calls Fiona, worried about Kev's family being rednecks. Kev comes back. He shot a deer and killed a deer. Well, he shot and killed a deer, I should say. Francis talks about seeing everyone's first step. Trevor's mad that Geneva slept with at Ian's. He says he didn't know she had to be back at the shelter. And Trev says, do not use these kids to weasel his way back into his life. Kevin beats his, I don't remember what his relationship was to him, but Biff in an arm wrestling, and finds out that they did leave him behind on purpose. Brad and his woman had their baby. Lip complains to Brad about needing some fucking pussy. Eddie says, get upstairs now. So Eddie's the hard-ass chick that works there. At the car wash thing, the women are all very impressed with Francis. Francis and Liam are like putting water on each other in the soap. Lip ends up banging Eddie upstairs. Eddie does slap him a bunch of times while they fuck, and she starts to choke him. I hear that's good for sex. I don't want to be choked and slapped. That would just piss me off. Or it would make me pass out. One or the other. Fiona goes to talk to a woman about how she thought he was a good guy, but one day he's going to burn you too. When he fucks you, look out for track marks on his arm. Turns out this is not Sean's wife. And the woman yells back at her, I don't know if it was her spouse or her man or her boyfriend, you're back on drugs? She runs at him and starts hitting him with the shoe. Fiona laughs while Sean is looking at this, and she leaves. And Trevor pulls up to Ian. He's happy that Ian got Geneva concentrated on her future, which is a step in the right direction. That was a compliment, and Ian recognizes this. Kev let Biff win the second time in arm wrestling. Some of the kids there come out with KKK masks, and Aunt Ronnie says those are only good for Halloween. The blonde that had her heel fixed by Francis says the car wash raised a lot of money sometime, and she's listed in the PTA directory. Come find me. Franny makes her first steps to Francis. Well, at least Debbie's seeing this. She goes to Francis. Shit, he really is St. Francis. Carl catches the one that's doing the burglaries. Who the fuck are you? I'm your worst nightmare. And that's how the episode ends. So entertaining stuff, but again, a little bit more of a dip of quality from what season 7 was. I'm going to score the episode an 8.4 out of 10. My character of the episode, for the ladies, it's got to be Fiona. And then for the guys, I have to go with Francis, St. Francis, Frank, because he was awesome. And I really like the role that Frank is playing during this season. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Shameless and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button. It does help the channel quite a bit. Share the video with a friend that likes Shameless. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Shameless. What would you rate this episode, and whom would be your character or characters of the episode? Click right here for my Shameless series finale rant video, assuming you've seen every single episode of Shameless. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.